Hello golfers, today's forecast is calling for 100% chance of rain. It's pouring down rain, not a great day. But what it is calling for is 100% chance of you making a great golf swing, a great on-plane backswing, and a great on-plane downswing. Stick around, let me show you how. We're going to stay dry using the umbrella, and we're going to finally improve the shape and the plane of your golf swing. Because if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I'm all about simplification. I love to use household items, things that are readily available that you can easily use to help better your golf swing. Now, don't get me wrong, I love training aids. I got a ton of them here in my training studio that I use every day. But what I'm trying to do is save you a few bucks so you don't have to run out and buy an expensive training aid. And admittedly, most of you tell me, I hear it all the time, I never use the thing anymore. Why spend money on an expensive training aid that you're probably never going to use after one or two tries? An umbrella, everybody's got one. So simple. Let's fix your golf swing. But before we start fixing this, I want to very quickly and briefly explain just what is a good on-plane golf swing. Now, what you're seeing right now is an example of Tiger Woods. I've put a yellow line through his shaft right there. That is simply indicating the shaft plane. And what you're seeing there as he swings the club back is the club head is swinging along the shaft plane. Additionally, what you're seeing is the club head is staying quote-unquote outside or in front of his hands. As he then implements a little hinging of the wrists, the shaft starts to steepen and he is putting himself inevitably in a beautiful top of swing position. From there, he now has every chance in the world to shallow his downswing and get that club head back down on plane at around a waist-high position as he then tracks and traces right back down that yellow shaft plane and inevitably is attacking his golf ball from the inside of the target line. Far too many of you are not attacking from the inside. You're cutting across the ball from an outside-in direction, and here we go again, another pull or another slice. So how are we going to utilize this umbrella? Super simple. What I want you to do is inevitably stay dry in the backswing, and then yes, a little wet on the downswing. As you get set, what you're going to notice, especially with a bigger umbrella like this, is at the end of it sticks in the ground a little bit there. What I want you to do is elevate that off the ground. So something like this here, where you're hinging the wrists up and out. Now, yes, this is a little different than a normal golf setup position, where ideally you would want the end of the grip that points at the belt line or the waistline. But when I do that here, you can see the umbrella sticks in the ground a little bit. So as I mentioned, just hinge the wrists up and out a bit. And now you have, this very distinct angle right here. And quite frankly, this distinct angle here is going to help you make a better backswing. As I do this properly, what you're going to see, like we just saw with Tiger, is the hands, the butt end of the grip starts to work straighter back this way right here as I'm keeping the club head outside in front of my hands. I'm keeping this club, this initial move, dead nuts on plane. And if you want to get another great visualization, another great drill on how to make a beautiful, perfect initial takeaway, I'm going to put it right here in the corner, this video here, where I simply utilized a coffee table. Watch that video. That's going to give you a great visualization on how to make these perfect takeaways, perfect backswings. But when I do this here, the hands work straight back like this. The club head, if you will, is inevitably on plane. Now here's where I want you to stay dry. As you implement some hinging of the wrists, you'll start to steepen this umbrella shaft here like this. I'm staying dry. Now what you're seeing is the end of the umbrella here is actually pointed slightly inside of the target line. That's wonderful because when we hinge the wrists, that's a power creator. We would love to be doing that. Now the hinging should be starting roughly approximately as your hands pass your trail leg, in this case my right leg, just kind of passing the pocket here, the leg, somewhere in this-ish area is where I'd like to start to get some implementation of the hinging of the wrists. And as I do that, and as I stay dry, from there I get set to the top. I'm in a beautiful top of swing position here. I now have every chance in the world to properly shallow this club. Yes, now I would be getting a little wet, sure, but I have every chance in the world to deliver this back to impact from the inside of the target line. That's what so many of you need to be doing. Now, when this is done faulty, and there's far too many golfers out there making faulty takeaways, faulty backswings, it's either one of these two incredibly common scenarios where you're taking the club and you're swinging it back far too flat behind you like this. Rain's pouring down on you, you're soaking wet right here. Then from here you lift your arms up, you push the club out and over the top, you're inevitably soaking wet again. The club cuts across the ball from outside in. Here we go again, another pull or a slice.
I think once the club gets behind you early, it just becomes more of a struggle.
Conversely, the other faulty takeaway scenario is working this way, where your hands, club, in this case the umbrella, is working too out and away from you. Yet again, I'm soaking wet on the backswing, and then from here, many of you then make a very incomplete turn, very powerless from this position, and then you chop back down yet again from outside in. I'm trying to avoid all that with making things as simplistic and as easy as possible by utilizing the umbrella. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, I'm all about simplicity, because when a golf swing takes 2 seconds or less, there is literally no time to think. Because I'll ask students on a daily basis, you know, hey, what is it that you're thinking about as you're over the ball? And often, I mean often, I hear long, drawn-out sentences of things that somebody's thinking about. That is complete overload. We are literally mentally handcuffing ourselves. We're not giving ourselves the best chance to make the best inevitable swings. But if you can utilize something as simple as one word, umbrella, this can help better literally the backswing and the downswing from one simple word. Keep it simple, guys. I cannot express that enough. Now, when you do this, you want to do it relatively slow so you can see it, feel it. So as I do that slowly, I am able to see it, feel it, stay dry, going up to the top. And then from there, as I shallow it this way, fabulous. That's another great video I want you to watch. I'm going to put that right here in the corner on how to properly shallow the downswing. It's something I've been talking about for nearly 40 years now, and it's a little play on words. Do you question your swing? What I simply mean by that is when we shallow the downswing, what we're doing is we're ultimately forming, as I usually say, a little semblance of a question mark. Watch that video, you're going to get a great idea of what it is I'm talking about. And as you do this, this is basically just a backswing and downswing into impact. You don't necessarily have to go all the way through. I mean, you totally could if you want, but it's not necessary. And guys, please put in the comments below, because I love reading the comments. Maybe there's something that has helped better your backswing or downswing with some drill that you've done, or let me know how this works for you. Because my #1 goal for my channel is to help golfers worldwide. And with the various comments that you leave, maybe there's something there I haven't even seen or heard of before. So again, I always love to read the comments. But your comments may very well help another golfer, and I would love to have that be the case. And as always, I offer a free swing analysis. All you need to do, subscribe to my channel. Doesn't get any easier than that. After subscribing, you'll see down below the first pinned comment there is a link to one of the pages on my website where you can download and use the free V1 Golf app. Send me your swings. I'd love to help.